Hare Krishna. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna, everybody. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. So, first of all, welcome you all to ISKCON Mangaluru. The course Bhakti Sadhachar is organized by ISKCON Mangalore under the supervision and guidance of. Am I audible?
Yes, Mataji. You're audible.
Okay.
Probably from their end.
Veena Mataji, please connect your. Connect to audio. I don't think you're connected to audio. Yeah. Okay, so welcome you all to Bhakti Sadhachar under the guidance and supervision of Namnishta Das Prabhuji. Who is the president of ISKCON. Please go on mute, everybody. You can unmute when needed. Okay, I'll ask you to unmute. Okay, so let's begin. So let's begin with a bhajan. So every class we will be beginning with a bhajan. All right. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा गदामह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितां च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिनि नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे. Let's begin. जीव जागो गौरा चांद बोले कोटा नेत्र जागो जीव जागो बोल गौरा चांद बोले बाजी बोलिया से संसार पितारे बोलिया जागो जीव जागो गौरा चांद बोले लोई तेराही होई ताई आती जागो जी जागो गौरा जागो एक देवा नसीबा हरि त्र जागो जीव जागो गौरा जागो रे कोटा निद्र जागो रे जागो जीव जागो गौरा जागो रे भक्ति विनोदा प्रभु चरण करी देहत्र जागो जीव जागो गौरा जागो रे कोटा मित्र रे जागो जीव जागो गौरा जागो रे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्ण हरे 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 राम कृष्णा 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 Hare Krishna, am I audible?
Now, yes, Mataji. Yes.
Okay. I think there was some internet issue. Okay. Yeah. So let's read the translation of the bhajan. Okay. So this bhajan is composed by Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur is a very important acharya in our Vaishnava Sampradaya, and he has composed this bhajan. So what is the meaning? Jeeva Jago. Jeeva Jago is wake up, right? So he's saying Lord Gauranga is calling to everybody, saying, wake up, sleeping souls, wake up. How long will you sleep in the lap of the witch called Maya? So Maya is compared to the witch over here, because Maya is somebody who takes us away from Krishna. She does not allow us, she is like a curtain between us and Krishna. She does not allow us to see Krishna. She does not allow us to go to Krishna, because she is very, very particular. She wants us to be completely cleansed. Only purified souls are let. It's like a jail, right? This material world is like a jail, and Maya is none other than Durga Devi, right? And she is like the jailer. Okay, and we are all the prisoners in the jail. So Maya, see, jailer never lets the prisoners out just like that, right? We need to get purified unless and until we consistently suffer, understand the importance of Krishna. She will not let us go out and meet Krishna, right? So that's Maya is also Krishna's energy, Krishna's devotee, right? So such beautiful comparison. So they're saying, wake up, souls. We are all sleeping in ignorance, right? On the lap of the witch called Maya. You have forgotten the way of devotional service and are lost in the world of birth and death. What does Krishna describe material world as? Dukkhalayam ashashvatam in Bhagavad Gita, right? That means what? This material world is filled with, it's first of all temporary and it's filled with miseries. All right. So that is how this material world is. What else can you expect? That's why we are all caught in the vicious cycle of birth and death. Right. I have descended just to save you. Other than myself, you have no friend in this world. Krishna is the best friend for all of us, and he is descended as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Right. I have brought the medicine that will wipe out the disease of illusion from which you are suffering. Take this Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the medicine that is going to save us from this material world, the disease, the material disease, right? We are all suffering with material disease, and only Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the solution. It's the medicine. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, I fall at the lotus feet, having taken this Mahamantra. Uh, okay, so that was just to introduce you all to the reality, to the reality of world. This is how the world is. We what do? We settle here, right? First of all, we live here temporarily, and we all know it's temporary. Still, we make arrangements as if we are going to live here permanently, right? It's like a train journey, right? Say you are traveling for 2 days in the train. You make your place, your compartment, your home until you get down, right? So you keep your luggage there. You make place to sleep and all that, right? So right now we are also doing the same. No, come out of the comfort zone. That is reality. Reality is not this. Reality is a spiritual world. That is our home, right? That's why Prabhupada keeps saying, back home, back to Godhead, right? So our home is Godhead. We need to go back to Krishna. Now we are not supposed to stay here. So let us not make these uh, permanent arrangements in temporary world. All right, let's not, because see, we are in ignorance. Animals are also in ignorance. Animals also do the same thing, right? Eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. If we also limit our life to just eating, sleeping, mating, and defending, what is the difference between us and animals? Why did Krishna give us higher intelligence? Why did Krishna give us tongue? Why did Krishna give us brain? Animals don't have. Think about it. Why do we have and why do animals don't have? Right? So if he's given us something, we need to understand it's for a purpose. There is a reason behind it, right? And he has given it to us. So it's our responsibility to use it for him, to serve him only, not for ourselves. That's basic principle of gratitude. So on this note, let's begin. So today is just going to be an orientation session, okay? Because we will be beginning with a new module, right? For some of you, it's module 1. For some of you, it's module 2. For some of you, it's module 3, right? So you can accordingly mark in your attendance sheet as well. And let me hear from you all. How many of you have finished your Gita 18 course and other Bhagavad Gita level courses? Okay, you can raise your hand or you can unmute and answer. How many of you have just finished Gita 18 course? Okay. Yes, 18-day course.
18 days course, Mataji had finished.
Okay, Mataji. Yes, okay. Anybody who's done the advanced levels? Level 1, level 2, level 3?
Level 1 is over, Mataji. Level 2 is over.
Level 2 is also over? Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. So most of you have completed Gita 18, right? Very nice. Okay. Okay, nice. So I want to begin the class with a story. Okay, so there's a, I think you all know, you would have heard of this great devotee called Bilva Mangal Thakur, right? There is a devotee called Bilva Mangal Thakur. He's a very great devotee. Okay, so just a little bit of background about him. Okay, so Bilva Mangal Thakur was married. Okay, he was married. He was having a very nice wife, and unfortunately, what happened? He was living in a town, but he was, well-to-do and all. But unfortunately, what happened? He got attracted to a prostitute in the same town. Okay, so that prostitute was a I mean, she was very pretty. She was very good looking. Her name was Chintamani. Okay. And what happened? He used to go to her house every day, every night, actually. Okay. He fell in love with this prostitute. Okay. So this prostitute became his consciousness. He was not even looking at his wife. He was not talking to his wife. He was not respecting his wife. Okay. Eventually, even his wife got to know that he likes the prostitute, but not her. Okay. So every night he used to go, he used to see if his wife is sleeping or not. The moment his wife sleeps, he used to, go to this Chintamani's house. Okay. So he used to go and she used to stay a little away. Okay. And he used to walk all night and go. And this Chintamani, okay, basically, she also used to like him a lot. A lot of affection was there. Okay, just affection. And then what happened? One day it was raining very, very heavily. And what happened? The roads were fully drained, and it was fully flooded. Okay, even in that rain, it was thundering and everything, lightning. Still, he woke up in the middle of the night to go and see her. Okay, so he liked her so much. Okay, so he woke up and he went. Okay, he went out of the house. It was very, very cold. It was raining. Still, he went. He did not even wear any sweater or anything. He just went. Okay, he was so dedicated to see her. Right? Rains, lightning, thundering, nothing mattered to him. Okay, so he went, and then he was going, and there was the road which he was walking through was heavily flooded. It had so much water was accumulated. It was almost like a lake. Okay, he couldn't walk through it. He had to swim across it, but he does not know swimming. Okay, so what he did? It was dark. Okay, it was pitch dark in the night. So what happened? He saw something. It looked like a log. Okay, a log of a tree, right? The trunk. So he held on to it and he swam across the river. River as in the lake. Okay, and then he reached the other side of the road. Okay, and then he went to the house, the prostitute's house, and there the gate was closed. Okay, and he was, as always, he was knocking. Nobody opened it. Okay, it was raining so heavily, nobody heard. Okay, heard him calling. So what he did, there was a tree next to. She stays in the first floor. All right. So there was a tree, and there was a rope from the tree coming down. Okay, hanging. So he held on to the rope, climbed on it. With the help of the rope, he went to the first floor. And then he started knocking at the door very badly, and she came and opened the door. All right. And then she was shocked to see him. She was like, in this rain, I mean, how can anybody come? I mean, people will die who they cannot even walk because it's very cold, first of all, and it's raining very, very badly. How did you come? Okay. So she asked him. And then he was like, to see you, I can do anything. Whether it is raining, whether it is sunny, whatever it is, I will come and see you. Okay, that is what he said. All right. So this was the conversation happening. It was going on, and then the prostitute said, Chintamani said, "Oh my God, if you had invested 0.1% effort of what you've invested right now in seeing Krishna, in offering devotional service to Krishna, you could have actually gotten the best siddhi in the world. Okay, sarva siddhi hai, we say the best siddhi in the world you would have got. You would have gotten everything you wanted in life. You would have gotten the lotus feet of Krishna. What else do you deserve? What else do you desire? Right? There's nothing else left. After you get Krishna's lotus feet, there is nothing else left for us in this world to achieve. Right? So she said this. For a moment, he was stunned listening to her. And it tricked him very, very hard. It tricked him very, very hard. Okay. And then he sat down there, then on the floor. Okay. And he started, he was lost in thoughts. And then he was like, yes, what you said was so right. I mean, if I had invested at least 0.1% of the efforts of this, I would have got something permanent in life. Because that Chintamani is also temporary. She will also die one day, right? She literally said this, for this body made of blood and stool and urine and veins and sweat, you came in the rain, and just to see me. And if you can do all this for something temporary as this body, which is only filled with filth, nothing else. I mean, I mean, you could have got so much more than this if you had actually directed it in the right place, right? And then she was like, "How did you manage to come?" Okay. Then he said, "Nothing. The road was blocked, so I held on to the log and I came." And Chintamani took him to that lake, okay, the blocked road, and she told him, "See properly." It was almost sunrise. I mean, almost time for sunrise now. Okay. So he was like, "See," she was like, "See properly. Is this the log that you're talking about?" And then he saw it was actually his own wife's dead body. All right. So his wife saw him. I mean, his wife knew he will go to Chintamani's house tonight. And she also knew the road was clogged. Okay. So what she did, she went and fell into that water. She gave up her body so that holding on the dead body floats, right? So holding on her dead body, he can cross the road. All right. So this is the sacrifice his wife made. So then he realized, okay, I thought it was a log and this is my wife, right? And then she took him to the house and then said, "How did you come to the first floor?" Then he said, "Holding the rope from this tree." And then she was like, "Ropes don't hang from trees, snakes hang from tree. You were holding the snake and you climbed the first floor. You were not holding the rope." So he mistook snake to be the rope. All right. So then she said, this material love had this is not material. I mean, there is no love in material world. First of all, this she said, this lust made you blind. This lust literally made you blind. Okay. Misconceiving things, and you wasted your entire life. You lost your wife also. Okay. So what do we learn from this story? From that moment, Bilvamangal Thakur became a devotee. He sacrificed his life, I mean material life, and he dedicated his remaining part of his life only in Krishna Seva. So he used to sit and he's composed books, he's composed scriptures, he's composed poems. Lord Krishna himself used to come in Bala Krishna form, sit next to him, in front of him, and listen to all his poems. This all happens after this incident. All right. So what do we learn from this? We need to understand that our eternal position is Jivera Swarupa hai Nityera Krishna Das. Okay. Nityera Krishna Das. Our eternal position is we are all servants of Krishna. Eternal position. And that is our natural position. If you're doing anything else other than serving Krishna, that means we are all materially diseased. Okay. That is our artificial, temporary being. That's all. Serving, if you don't serve Krishna, you're serving Maya. And when you serve Maya, it's not your real position. It's not your natural position. Okay. It's your artificial position. And anyway, anything artificial will once fade, right? And you have to turn back to Krishna again. Right. So why not now? This is our opportunity. So Bilva Mangal Thakur had the prostitute come and instruct him. We have Bhagavad Gita instructing us. We have Prabhupada instructing us, right? And we need to take opportunity. He listened to her and he changed. It's our turn now. We have to listen to the instructions given to us by Prabhupada and all the acharyas, and we have to change. Okay? Change our lifestyle. Whatever we are doing, we are not supposed to change the way we live. We are supposed to change the consciousness in which we are living. Right now, we are self-centered, right? Self-conscious, family conscious, self-conscious, right? I'm working for myself. I'm getting salary. I can buy that. I can do this. I can give it to my parents. I can give it to my wife. I can give it to my children. I can spend it on their education. I can spend it on my parents' health. All this is temporary. Okay. Everything is temporary. This is not called Krishna consciousness. But If you're earning money to satisfy Lord, okay, that is called Krishna consciousness. Nishkama. Okay, so yesterday, by God's grace, I got an opportunity to meet our Guru Maharaj. Okay, Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. So this is exactly what he said. He was like, Nishkama. Your life has to be Nishkama. Nishkama means what? Nishkama, desireless. What is desireless? All our desires should be turned towards Krishna, nothing else. Okay, go to office, earn very much. Okay, or earn a lot of money, but you need to make sure that money is given to you by Krishna and you live in that consciousness, gratitude, right? And spend at least a part of it for Krishna seva, buying Bhagavad Gita, going to dhams, instead of going to Goa or anywhere just like that for holiday, go to dham. Okay, make everything Krishna conscious. Instead of maybe some people have this habit of feeding poor people with food and all, right. So feed prasadam instead of feeding food. Okay, so this is how we need to make our life Krishna conscious. Okay, on this note, let's begin. So what is Vaishnava Sadhachar or Bhakti Sadhachar? Who can tell me? Let me unmute you all. Yeah, one by one you can unmute and tell me. What is Sadhachar? Who knows?
Way of living.
Way of living. Sadachar. See, the meaning is there in the word itself. Sad is good. Achar is behavior, practice. Right? So good practice. And what is called good? Anything minus Krishna is bad. Anything plus Krishna is good. Okay. So this is one thing we need to learn. This was also said by Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. Okay. So culture. What is culture? Culture is something like example, work culture, right? Corporate culture. Right. Something that you cultivate, or something that you live, something that has become your lifestyle, right? That is called culture, lifestyle. And you have, just like how you have corporate work culture, you have something called as Vaishnava culture also. Okay, so ISKCON is a Bhagavata school, right? We come here to learn devotional service because we don't know how to offer devotional service. We don't know how to impress God. We don't know how to please God. We don't know how to go back to God, right? So we come here. ISKCON teaches us. So ISKCON is what is it called? Bhagavata school, right? So every school, every place has etiquette. Okay, a school, college, office, whatever it is, every place has an etiquette, right? Be it corporate etiquette, be it business etiquette. So etiquette is very important. Rules, regulations, the kind of environment you are in, how do you behave in that place? It becomes very important. So since ISKCON is a Bhagavata school, we have something called as Vaishnava etiquette also, and that is what we are going to learn through Bhakti Sadhachar. Okay, through our acharyas, through Krishna, through his leelas, right? And Prabhupada also, who set up the rules and regulations, right? So culture is a Latin term derived from the word colere. Okay, so culture usually is culturing, right? To tend the earth and grow. That is one meaning. The next meaning is to cultivate and nurture. There are certain rules and regulations or principles which we got to cultivate inherently, okay, within our heart, and then nurture it, grow it, right? So those rules and regulations are very important for our progress in our spiritual life. That is what exactly what we are learning, what we are going to learn in Bhakti Sadachar. Okay, Bhakti Sadachar is the foundation for our first step in Krishna consciousness. Not even the first step. It is the foundation to take the baby step towards the first step in Krishna consciousness. It's that important. All right. So right from how you have to worship the Lord, how you have to offer pranam to the Lord, you learn everything in Bhakti Sadachar. Okay. So way of life, especially the general customs and beliefs of a particular group of people. And this is called culture. Okay. So now, ultimately, so we all discussed, right? We need to make our life Krishna conscious. How do we make it Krishna conscious? It's just one thing that we have to remember. Okay. Smartavyu satatak Vishnor vismartavyo najatuchit. Okay. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. This is the basic principle of Krishna consciousness. Okay. This is the basic principle of life. Life means Krishna conscious life. Consciousness means Krishna consciousness. There is no other consciousness. If you have any other consciousness, okay, family consciousness, self consciousness, it's all contaminated consciousness. Prabhupada explains in his purpose. Okay, consciousness means Krishna consciousness. Like how I said, no, Jivera Swarupaha Krishnera Nitya Das. Our natural position is to serve the Lord. If you're serving somebody else or if you're serving yourself, that is not your natural position. Okay, so how do we bring our consciousness back to its original form? That is, how do we become Krishna conscious? That is, Smartavya Satatam Vishnu Vismartavyor Najatuchit. Sarve Vidhi Nishedasyur Etayor Eva Kinkaraha. Always remember Krishna, never ever forget Krishna. Okay, so now you all can ask, both are same, right? Both the statements are same. Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna are same, right? Can anybody answer this question? They are same or different? If they are different, how is it? How are they different? Who can tell me?
Mataji, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, so always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna are similar statements, right? Or different? How are they different if they are different? Who can tell me? You can also put your answers in the chat. I got an
Mataji,
answer.
Mataji,
Yes.
both statements are very different because anything what you do, you need to make sure that the Lord's name is remembered in every activity, every task which you do is Krishna consciousness. Whereas don't forget means not necessary that you'll remember in every time. That's my understanding, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, it's very what do you say? It's very deep actually. So in you were right, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. So in a way, what it means is when you're doing something Krishna conscious, okay, the direct Krishna conscious activity like reading Bhagavad Gita, chanting, this is always remember Krishna. You are remembering Krishna. Okay. But when you're doing some other activity, as long as we are in this material world, we have to do other activities also, right? Like going to office, speaking to your friends, giving time for your family, taking your children out to say zoo, park, right? When you're doing other activities, material activities, you should not forget Krishna. Okay. So that is the meaning. Okay. When you're doing Krishna conscious activity, you are remembering Krishna. So you that is always remember Krishna. Do something which is directly spiritual. And never forget Krishna means when you're doing materialistic activities, you should not forget Krishna. Om Tat Sat, right? Do it for Krishna. Yeah, I got an answer. Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Do it for Krishna. Do it for the satisfaction of Krishna. You take your child to stay to a zoo. Yes, you are making your child happy. But no, you are actually making Krishna happy. That should be your consciousness. I am taking my child to a zoo so that Krishna will be happy. He wants me to do it, so I am doing it. Okay. So my child is going to get, knowledge. My child is going to be benefited by looking at animals in the zoo. With that knowledge, I mean, her cognitive ability will grow and then she will be able to understand scriptures well. This should be the consciousness. Everything should be connected ultimately for Krishna Seva. Okay. When you do your material activities with this consciousness, what is it called? It's called never forget Krishna. So both the principles are there. Yes, Renuka Mataji is saying see Krishna in everything. Kodandaram Prabhuji is saying Sarvam Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Yes. Okay. And Navesh Dwarka Prabhu is saying, oh, whatever we do, we must do it we must remember Lord Krishna. Yes. Krishna says, right, remember me and fight Arjuna. Right? That's what he says. Arjuna was like, no, how can I fight? It's a criminal activity and all that, etc., etc. Then Krishna says, remember me and fight. Your work becomes spiritualized when you remember Krishna. So this is the main principle of Vaishnava Sadachar. Okay, Bhakti Sadachar. Why are we doing this course? To ultimately, this is the goal, to achieve this goal. To always remember Krishna and to never forget Krishna, we are doing this course. Okay, Bhakti Sadachar. And as much as possible, we need to bring in Krishna into our consciousness. Okay, very, very important. Yeah, and so conclusion is that one must act in such a way that he will always remember Krishna, and one must refrain from doing anything which makes you forget Krishna. See, for example, say you're chanting and you're not chanting attentively. Okay, you're watching TV and chanting, or you're talking to your friend and chanting, something like that. Then don't chant, because that chanting is not taking you towards Krishna, right? If the activity that you're doing is not taking you towards Krishna, what is the point in doing it, right? At the same time, if you're working in office from morning till evening, you're working in office, and even if you spend a part of that salary for the satisfaction of Krishna, that entire office work, which is so material, is also becoming spiritualized. It's also becoming devotional service to the Lord. Okay, so this is the difference we need to understand. Bring in Krishna. Keep Krishna in the center of your activity. Okay, so Prabhupada was already born in a Vaishnava family. His name was Abhecharan. Okay, so it was not very difficult for him to inculcate any of these Vaishnava principles, because he was naturally trained by his father and mother, right? So what are we going to cover in this module? Okay, so basic things, everything, right from how to dress up the Lord, dress up the deities at your home, how to offer worship, how to offer pranam to the Lord, how to offer prasadam, bhog to the Lord, how do we dress, how do we associate with devotees, how do we talk to them, what kind of relationship we need to maintain with them, when we go to the temple, what we should do. Everything will be covered in this module. Okay, along with this, we will be covering Vaishnava prayers also, like you see in the picture. Okay, principles, basic principles, formal venues, cleanliness, prasad seva, Vaishnava dress, formal and association. Okay, these are the points which we cover in the basics. Next, probably 6 classes, and then we will be moving to Vaishnava prayers, where that helps us to strengthen our devotional ability. Okay. So like I told you, Bhagavata school, right? This is a Bhagavata school, and we need to, there are certain rules and regulations which we need to follow. If you go and enroll yourself in engineering college, and if you don't go to college, if you keep bunking classes, your attendance will be low. Will you get your, will they allow you to write the exam? No, right? If you disrespect your teachers in the class, will they allow you to attend the classes? No, they'll be like, you go out of the class, right? So there is an etiquette. If you sit in the exam hall and copy, they will not let you finish your exam, right? So what are these rules and regulations we need to follow so that we can also advance as Vaishnavas, right? Very important. That's why Sadachar is very, very important. I told you it's the foundation, right? If you have to call yourself a devotee, you need to know how a devotee is, what a devotee is, right? So that's why Vaishnava Sadachar is very important. These rules and regulations are all led by the previous acharyas, and Prabhupada has given it in a package form, right? He's given it to us in a package form. He also has given us the timetable. When you wake up early in the morning, you need to attend Mangalarti in Brahma Muhurta, right? And finish your chanting also in Brahma Muhurta. And then your day begins. Then you attend Darshanarti, then Bhagavatam class, right? Then you have Prasadam, and then you go to your office and other work, other services. Then you come back in the evening. You need to spend little bit of time at least to read another scripture. Some scripture you need to read. Okay, and then you can attend evening aarti, tulsi aarti, everything, and then sleep. So this way what happens, your entire day is planned. Prabhupada has given us how you need to plan your day so that your consciousness becomes purified. You even if you speak to materialistic people, you will still have your consciousness in hold, under control, because of these etiquettes that we will be doing or following. Okay, yeah, so just like these European American students, sometimes they cannot adopt to the principles of Sadachar as it is recommended, but that doesn't matter because they have devoted their lives, right, for Krishna Seva. They have sacrificed their life for Krishna. They are sadhu. They should be given the respect of a sadhu. because they have no other business than Krishna. This is the ultimatum. We already discussed, right? Ultimatum is this: sacrificing our life for Krishna Seva. Always remembering Krishna, never forget Krishna. And to apply these etiquette or rules and regulations that we learn in Sadhachar, we need to understand a lot of factors. Okay, time and place matter a lot. Everywhere you cannot do everything. Okay, like just an example. Yesterday, when I went to meet Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, it was so crowded. We were all made to sit. And when Guru Maharaj entered, it's usually our custom to offer pranam, right? The moment a senior Vaishnava enters. But we were said, no, you sit wherever you are. Because if you get up, if one person gets up, everybody will get up. And it's so crowded, Guru Maharaj will be suffocated. So you sit, offer pranams from your place itself. So depending on the time and place, we need to adjust our rules and regulations. Not everything is applicable everywhere. Okay, like it is said, we need to stay away from people who drink, people who smoke. A Vaishnava shouldn't, associate with such people. But Prabhupada stayed with hippies. He shared his room with a hippie who is a drug addict. Why? To convert him into a devotee. That is not wrong. He is spiritualizing the place. His presence in itself can spiritualize the place, right? He went to a pub. Prabhupada went to a pub and did what? He did mantra rock band concert. He chanted Hare Krishna Mahamantra in a Western style, Western music style, attracted so many hippies there, and they all surrendered their lives to serve Prabhupada's mission. Can you imagine? He spiritualized pub also. Right, so you need to this is the way, if our goal is clear that it is to please Krishna, samsiddhir haritoshanam, we can automatically, Krishna will give us guidance as to what to do, where, how, just to please him. Okay, like Bhishma Dev, if you see, he was on the deathbed, right? You can see in the picture, full of arrows. He was sleeping on the arrows, and still when people came, so many devotees, senior devotees, Vaishnavas came to meet him. Even Krishna, Lord himself, came to meet him. He still did not forget the etiquette. He said, come, sit, how are you? Do you want water? That is the kind of Atiti Satkar. He never forgot the rules and regulations, right? So whatever possible, we need to do to the maximum, okay, to the best of our ability. Expert religionists know perfectly well how to adjust religious principles in terms of time and place. All the great acharyas or religious preachers or reformers of the world executed their mission by adjustment of religious principles in terms of time and place. Okay, example, it's already here. The Prabhupada's guru actually told everybody to chant 64 rounds. Okay, but right now, for our modern age, it's impossible, right? Because we have office hours is almost 10 hours every day. We need to work, right? We have to come to our house. We have to do our housework also. So it's impossible. We don't get time, and we are all lazy, not very capable. Focus also is not going to be there. Chanting 64 rounds takes 8 hours. Okay, so because it's impossible, Prabhupada reduced it drastically to 16 rounds. You just chant 16 rounds, follow the rules and regulations. I will take you to Krishna, Prabhupada says. Right? So according to the time and place, we have to adjust the rules and regulations, and we need to understand this art. We will not understand. That's why Prabhupada has already given us a ready-made package. We just have to follow it. Okay? Yeah. And then one has to consider country, conveniences, time, everything. Okay? When it comes to applying our rules and regulations. And this takes us to another concept where niyamagraha and niyamagraha. What is niyamagraha? Niyamagraha means failure to accept. Okay, neglecting the rules. I'm not going to follow. What will happen? So that is called agraha. Niyamagraha is too much attached to rules without even considering the time and place. If you say, no, I have to do this, I will do this. Whatever it is, I will do this. That is also wrong. We just learned, right? According to the time and place, we need to adjust the rules and regulations. Prabhupada also did the same thing. From 64, he brought it down to 16. So, niyamagraha, too much attachment to the rules and regulations, neglecting the rules and regulations. Both are wrong. Okay? We need to understand the significance of the rule. Why are we supposed to follow this? what is the reason or what is the goal of following this rule. And with complete knowledge of that rule, of following the rules and regulations, we need to follow the rules and regulations. Okay. Like example, intoxication, right? We shouldn't drink coffee, tea, or any alcohol or anything as such. Why? Because the moment such intoxicants enter our body, what happens? Our energy levels get elevated, right? And sometimes our consciousness is blocked. We get that hangover, right? People who drink, we can ask people who get drunk actually, so they will explain. They actually forget the reality. They go to another altogether a different world. Okay, so what is happening? You are actually blocking your consciousness. Okay, and and energy levels drastically drop the moment the effect of alcohol goes. It's not good for your body either. It's not good for your mind. It's not good for your body, and especially it's not good for spiritual health. Okay, so understanding the purpose why we are asked to follow the rule, we need to follow, not blindly. Okay, that's very important. Okay, so this is what I was explaining. Agraha is too much attached to rules and regulations, not good. Agraha, failure or neglecting, I'm not going to follow, that is also not good. Okay, so yeah, neglecting the rules which can be conveniently followed, and if you still don't follow, that's wrong. And neglect and following because you're too much attached, like Ekadashi fasting. Say you take a vow saying I'll do Nirjal fasting, and if you fall sick, if you feel dizzy, what is the point in doing Nirjal fasting? Right? You need to fast and offer service, more and more service to the Lord. Chant more and more. If you're distributing books, go and distribute more and more books. If you're not able to work enthusiastically or chant enthusiastically, what is the point in doing Nirjal fasting, right? So in such cases, you drink water, stay hydrated, and then offer more service to the Lord. So this is what I was saying. You need to understand the significance of following the rules. For the main goal of Ekadashi is to offer more service to the Lord. If you're not able to offer more service to the Lord, because you are feeling weak, because you're not drinking water, you're not eating and all that, then eat sabudana khichdi, stay properly 3 times you eat, and then offer more service to the Lord. Okay? So we need to understand the rules, the reason behind the rules, and then follow the rules. Do not blindly do things. Nobody said you need to do Nirjal fasting and sleep entire day instead of chanting or instead of serving the Lord. Okay? Yeah, liberal and conservative. So Prabhupada traveled to America, right? So he went through a ship, okay? And in the ship, there was a big refrigerator where all the passengers used to store their food, okay? So all passengers used to store non-veg because they are all Americans, right? Prabhupada was struggling. He was like, how do I store veg food next to that non-veg food? Still he did, right? So this is the difference between being liberal and conservative. Okay, you shouldn't be conservative. If you don't store food, what will you do? How will you survive? You have to store fruits and vegetables, right? You cannot buy them every day. Once in a while, you need to buy them and store it. Otherwise, you'll be starving. So you need to understand when to be conservative, when to be liberal. So Prabhupada still stored his non-veg food, veg food next to non-veg food, and he offered the food to the Lord and he spiritualized it and then he ate it. Okay, so very, very important. And yeah, so Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament of a devotee. Okay, it's an ornament of a devotee. That's why I told you if we have to call ourselves a devotee or to be devotee, we need to understand how a devotee looks, what a devotee is, right? So this is what we are going to follow through Sadhachar course, and through this course, your family members will also get inspired, right? Yad yad achariti shrestha. When you do something, and if it is good, okay, others will automatically get attracted. You can guide your children, you can guide your parents, you can guide your siblings, you can guide your spouses, right? So it's not just for ourselves. Spreading Krishna consciousness is very, very dear to Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, when you now that you know the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, go and spread it across to devotees, so that more and more people get the awareness, and they can also go back home, back to Godhead, Krishna says. And when we spread Krishna consciousness, we become the dearest devotee to Krishna. Krishna says this as well in Bhagavad Gita, right? Therefore, we are endeavoring to create some ideal men, Krishna conscious men, their character, their behavior, their ideal aim of life. So, those who have taken to Krishna consciousness, seriously, they should be ideal men. The society will be benefited at least by seeing their behavior. Okay. So a lot of people, especially youth, right? Young people, young adults, all they know is weekend parties, sleep, going out for restaurants, etc., etc. And how nicely they're spoiling their life, right? So beautifully they're spoiling their life. So because of ignorance, some people don't even know what they're supposed to do. Some people know, still they don't follow because lack of support and inspiration. As devotees, it is our responsibility. Krishna is not just for myself. Krishna is for everybody. And when we know something, it is our responsibility to bring others also along with us. Prabhupada said, in one of the letters, he mentions, I know way back to Godhead. I know back home, the way back home, back to Godhead. I will go back to home. I will go back to Krishna. But I don't want to go alone, Prabhupada says. How beautifully he writes. I don't want to go alone. I want to take everybody along with me. Right? That's the reason he struggled so much. At the age of 70, he went to America. We will be learning that in the next class, not in the next class. After some 6-7 classes, we will be learning all about the prayers he composes in Jaladutaship, what all he underwent. All right. At the age of 70, no, he did not have to do it, right? Why did he do it? He did not have to do it. He can he could have sat in Vrindavan, writing scriptures, chanting, offering seva to Radha Damodar, and he could have, stayed there. Why did he do it? 70 years. 70 years. Can you imagine? When we have our grandpa, grandmom who is 70 years old, what do? We don't even let them get up from their place, right? What do you need? I will bring. Right? That is the kind of service we offer to them. Right? And he went all out. So, yeah, many of them want, because the climate is very cold, and alone, he will not get proper food to eat. Mostly it's non-veg there, right? Many of them want. You will not succeed. Don't go. Simply it's waste of energy. Most of them demotivated him. Still he went. And if we don't respect that, I don't know what to say. Okay, so Krishna consciousness movement through music, philosophy, spiritual culture, and personal behavior culminating in ideal character of devotees. All these heavenly contributions combined together will certainly bring about a major change in the life of Western people. If they can change Western people, they can certainly change us also. These spiritual principles originated in Bharat Bhumi, right? So we are just not taking to it. We are not respecting it, and we are not adopting it. That is the problem. Okay. And Krishna consciousness is very easy. You can read over here. Kirtan, dance, sing, eat prasadam if you're tired. Okay. And read scriptures. They are all stories. In the form of stories they are given, right? In Bhagavatam and all that. It's all stories. Read. You will cultivate knowledge. And then if you're tired, you sleep. That's all. That is Krishna consciousness. Act for Krishna, right? If you like singing, instead of singing Bollywood songs, learn Vaishnava bhajans, right? We have Vaishnava bhajan class also, if I'm not wrong. Okay, and yeah, so Srila Prabhupada took up the responsibility to change the Westerners. Can you imagine? Right from draping dhoti and draping sari, everything he taught. Okay, cooking, kirtan, playing the mridangam, tartals. Even they did not even know what is mridangam. Right? Dressing the deities, everything Prabhupada taught. So Vaishnava Sadhachar course was begun long ago by Prabhupada itself. Right? Prabhupada taught all of them how to do all these things. And even to make japamalas. Right? So everything was taught to them because they did not know anything properly. Right? So you can see in the picture. Very nicely. And going forward, the devotees started enjoying all this. So it's very important. If we want to advance in our devotional life, we need to also adopt these principles. Be a Roman in Rome, right? Be a Roman in Rome. So whatever Krishna likes, we need to adopt so that it makes him happy. And our goal of life is Haritoshanam, to please the Lord. That's all. Not to expect things from Lord or anything as such. Making Krishna happy is our ultimate goal. And to make Krishna happy, what does Krishna say? How do we make him happy? Krishna says, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru, right? In Bhagavad Gita, this line, Krishna repeats 2 times, once in 9th chapter, once in 18th chapter. Same line, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru, means what? Manmana, always think of me, Krishna says. Madhyaji mam namaskuru, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, as in offer prayers to him. That's all Krishna says. This is the secret to making him happy. Okay, always think of Krishna. Again, going back to the same principle, right? Never, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. This is the meaning of Manmana. Right? So we are doing all this to please the Lord. And ultimately, we have to please the Lord. Okay, that is our life. And yeah. So I have a question, proof of Krishna for those who believe and who do not believe. Yes. Okay, so I have a question in the chat. I got a question. Significance of chanting 16 rounds. So why do we have to chant 16 rounds? Because see, Mataji, chanting is the holy name of the Lord. When you chant, it's called mantra meditation. It's not simply chanting. Chanting, mantra meditation, as in when you chant every mantra, you need to hear that mantra. Okay, when you take your japamala and chant one bead, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Right? One bead you chant, the next bead, you again, when you move to the next bead, you chant the same mantra, right? Every time you chant, you have to hear the mantra. Okay? You cannot look here and there, keep chanting. Every syllable, there are 32 syllables in Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and we need to hear all the 32 syllables. Okay? And you cannot speak to somebody and keep chanting in your mind. No. You cannot check your WhatsApp messages and chant. No. You cannot sit in front of TV and chant. Okay? Because you need to hear every 32 syllables. Okay? And when you chant 16 rounds, it takes on average 2 hours. 2 hours of meditation. In our busy schedule, in our busy day, 2 hours of meditation is apt. Okay, it's perfect for this modern age. 2 hours of meditation, 16 rounds when you chant. It helps us survive the entire day in Krishna consciousness. Okay, but that's not all. Along with these 16 rounds, Prabhupada has told you have to maintain the 4 regulative principles. That is, you're not supposed to drink, you're not supposed to smoke, all these 4 rules that we have, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, and no meat eating, no non-veg food. Okay, 16 rounds of chanting in a day, plus these 4 regulative principles, and reading scriptures, at least 15 minutes or half an hour we need to make time and read at least 1 page of Bhagavad Gita or 1 page of any scripture. Okay, or hear a Bhagavatam class if you don't get time to read. No problem. Just hear. Bhagavatam class is happening. Every day, 8 o'clock, Namanishta Prabhuji takes the class. Links are already sent in the groups. So just listen to the class. Okay. So this is going to make every day of ours in our everyday life Krishna conscious. When every day becomes Krishna conscious, that is the goal, right? We are all struggling to maintain Krishna consciousness and you are achieving it, right? So, but you will achieve it based on the sincerity, or as in how sincere you are in chanting, or how attentively you are chanting, how many mantras are you able to hear when you chant in those 16 rounds, right? In one round, 108 times when you chant, hardly we hear at least even one, right? So the moment you start hearing every syllable, then Krishna reveals himself. Okay, we will actually get to meet Krishna face to face. Okay, and go back to Krishna. Okay, that is the significance of chanting 16 rounds. Any questions? One moment, let me. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can answer. You can ask. You can just unmute and ask.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mega Mataji.
I just wanted to ask whether the chanting what we are doing, I am of course doing 16 malas every day. Maybe I sometimes get up at Brahma Muhurat also. But Yeah, but is it required that at a stretch we are supposed to do those 16 malas, or we can, sometimes it could be not be possible
Hmm.
to complete those 16 malas. So can we
Yeah.
divide them into 2 parts or something? And we
Yes,
can
you
complete?
can. You
We
can. Yeah.
Okay,
In
okay,
in special circumstances, you can divide 8 in the morning, 8 in the evening, something like that. Okay.
okay. Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Any other questions? Anybody? So we will be learning in the next class. Like I already said. One moment. Where did that go? So from next class, we will be focusing on these principles. One by one, we will be taking up, and from the basic principles, everything. Yeah. So this takes around 6 to 7 classes. In each class, we will be learning about the basic principles that we have to follow, and everything else. Okay, how to offer prasadam in prasad seva, how to cook for the Lord, in what consciousness you need to cook, how to offer, technicalities, the details, what mantras to chant while offering the food, how many minutes time you should give for the Lord to eat the bhog, right? And after taking the food, how should you consume prasadam? Everything we will be learning one by one. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Navesh Prabhuji is asking, mantra should be given in the group. Anything we discuss in the class, whatever supposed to be shared, will be shared with you in the group. Okay, do not worry. And attendance is very important. Okay, today is just orientation. Today, no attendance. From next class, you will have attendance. Okay, so your respective modules, you just have to check in the box, check the box in the attendance form, and at least 50% attendance is required for you to get your module certificates. Okay, at the end of the module completion, based on your attendance, you will be given certificates. It will be sent to your email. Okay. I know the previous module certificates are still remaining. Your attendance is still being evaluated. You will be getting it. Okay. Yeah. So that's why attendance is very important. Please do attend regularly. Recordings will be available. Okay. But attending is very important. Okay, so that shows your dedication. You're making time, right? 1 hour, making time, attending online. That is very important. Okay, so it shows you're proving to Krishna that you're interested, right? Krishna in the form of Paramatma witnesses everything, right? So all this becomes very important. And yes, any you will also be given details about how to perform fasting. That those technical details, to be honest, nobody knows properly the technical details. No, we just know, okay, we need to do this. How, why, the minute details. It's very important. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Okay. So all these things we'll be learning in Bhakti Sadhachar. How do we mark attendance? See, during the class, attendance link will be posted by Giridhar Gopal Prabhuji in the chat. Okay, in the Zoom chat itself. Just click on the link and fill up the form and submit. It takes just 1 minute. Okay. Did that answer, Asha Mataji? Yes. Any other questions? Anybody? Any doubts? Or how will we proceeding? No doubts? Okay. If you have no questions, we can end. Can we end the class? Giridhar Prabhuji, do you have anything to say? Any announcement?
No,
Or any
Mataji.
request? No. Okay. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. Anant Koti Vaishnav ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all for attending. Please join next week, Saturday, 7 p.m. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you
Hare
all.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.